Yo guys, it's Haxor, and if you haven't noticed already, I got the Nvidia Shield TV, which is a pretty nice console, except for it has some issues. I decided I wanted to make a review on it to show what's wrong with it and what could be better about it. So pretty much I want to talk about the gaming aspect of the Shield itself, not really like the streaming parts, that kind of stuff, just mostly the gaming on the device itself. So first off, it has 256 CUDA cores. It has a 64-bit CPU with 8 cores, and it has 3 GB of RAM. It's run by the Tegra X1, which is a pretty beastly processor. Sadly, some games are not optimized for this processor just yet because the console is pretty new. Let me start off with the Google Play Store. So the Google Play Store is pretty slimmed down since there are not many apps supported just yet. Pretty much the apps that are supported are mostly just controller apps, and there are some that work with keyboard and mouse if you plug those in, because it does have 2 USB ports. Third-party apps do work, so if you want to install like emulators and stuff, it's actually very effective, especially on this device. I recommend installing an emulator if it has controller support, and it is a very fantastic experience. So let me get into the app gameplay on the Android side. There are a few Android apps that have full controller support. For example, the one in the background, which is called Modern Combat 5, and it's about 900 megabytes if you want to try installing it. So it's pretty nice playing with a controller. I haven't actually played a console game in a while, and playing this on a TV is actually a completely new experience to me, even though I could just, play an actual console game while I'm on the TV. But this is something different. Maybe you're getting bored of Call of Duty, you want to try something else out, something that's completely different, because Modern Combat is kind of strange. But yes, there are a few bugs with some apps, Android apps, because the Shield console is a bit new. There aren't really many optimizations for it, and there are many bugs with some of the apps that it actually can run. For example, for Modern Combat 5, you can't really install a multiplayer, which is kind of important. And then for Modern Combat 4, which is a bit of an older app, and I don't think they have been updating it as much anymore, pretty much you can't really aim in without having this not invisible, but like your entire screen just goes completely blank, making it impossible to see while aiming down sights, which is very important in first-person shooter games if you think about it. The thing that a lot of YouTubers or broadcasters like is a record feature. Well, guess what, guys? It's built into the Shield Android TV. So pretty much if you just hold down one of the main buttons on the controller, it'll bring up an option menu where you could start broadcasting to Twitch. You could automatically record when you start entering games, or you could actually record just from wherever. Pretty much this is where the Shield Pro would be better off, the 500 GB device, because recording does take up a bit of file space, and if you want to do a lot of recordings, rip 16 GB, that's going to go away really quickly. So in the background I have more Modern Combat 5. As you see, I started the recording. I did say the 16 GB would be eaten up pretty quick if you want to be doing a lot of recordings, but you can actually use flash drives, or you could use a micro SD card to actually increase your space by a bit. Micro SD cards have a max size of 128 GB supported, and I think it's the same for flash drives. You can have up to 2 flash drives in at once, but I do not recommend doing that unless you have a USB hub, which will allow you to have more ports on the device itself. If you don't like the quality of the playback, you can actually change the recording settings. There are 4 settings. There's low, medium, high, and ultra. When I was recording this, I had mine on medium, so you can increase the quality of the recordings every time you want to make one. Another big thing some people may like is the Shield streaming service. If you have good Wi-Fi, this thing is amazing. So when I was recording Batman, as you see, obviously, and I had like a half bar connection. I think it was like 2 out of 4, possibly, or maybe it was 2 out of 3. I don't know, but it was pretty bad since Verizon likes throttling Wi-Fi at certain times of the day for no apparent reason. But other than that, I have a non-dual band router. I have only a single band router, and it was able to tank through this game. So if you have a dual band router, streaming is like almost flawless. There are maybe a few stutters, but like I said, I had really bad Wi-Fi at the time, and I'm not using a dual band router. I do have a pretty high upload speed, but the Shield console only detects like 30 megabytes of it, and the recommended is actually 5 for 720p. 5 megabytes per second.
These are Black Mask's men. I'll make them tell me where I can find Black Mask.
So how could this be an Nvidia device without having Nvidia exclusives? So pretty much they have their own little store, Nvidia, and you could download a few games. Even though I didn't really purchase any to show them off, since I have most of the games, there's not really a need for me to buy them again. If I really wanted to play them, I could just game stream them. So yes, this device has game stream like every other Shield device, and you can game stream your PC if it has a GTX graphics card. I think it's a 660 or higher. You can stream it from anywhere on your internet to wherever you're playing your Shield device from, whether it be a monitor or a TV. But anyways, it's a pretty beastly device, and I would recommend it to other people once they actually come out with a bit more support, with more games, and a few other things. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down below. I'll try my best to respond. I am pretty new with the console itself, so if it's a really advanced question, I may not be able to answer it. So just ask anyways, and I'll try my best. This is Hax, and I'm out. Peace.